Yeah, that hate, the grind, the sweat, the blood, the time, my motivation. I work too hard, too long, and not be in the conversation. My team been up, way up, ain't nothing less than domination. I got the game and safe with lock and key and combination. Keep it gold and high sight, don't focus on what's hindsight. Sleeping on me, tell them night, night, it's my time in a bright light. Don't ever band, no mind, keep it pushing, don't ever give them a sound. They will let me put me shining, but they wanna talk about you when you down. Motivation, all the hating that they doing, motivation. Staying winning, nothing less, ain't no consolation. Used to tell me that I couldn't, that's my motivation. Yeah, my motivation, motivation. All this money on my mind, that's my motivation. You talking, but you not up in the conversation. They all wanting me to stop, that's my motivation. Yeah, my motivation. Yeah, that time that I came through and I got one for the boy. Hey, now I'm finna ball out, step back, shoot for the score. Hey, if I had a penny for everyone doubted me, I'll make $1 million a month off a salary. Picture me rolling, go look at the gallery. I've been eating now, look at the calories. No, I've been out up on the road, trying to make it to my goals. Had a lot of friends in the past when I quit on me, had a fold. I remember being told, son, don't ever say it's sold. For the girls, for the cars, for the fame, for the riches, for the gold. Yeah, I've been chasing material things, I've been chasing my dreams. Stay close to the team, I don't ever need no reason to leave. Heard the birds in the trees, tell them it is a breeze. As you can see, I do it with
Welcome to the WBC Arena, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Todd Grisham. Alongside me is Johnny Nelson.
I feel like a fraud. How have I...
Sugar Ray Leonard, an undisputed welterweight champion, and he won world titles in 5 weight classes. Sugar Ray Robinson, one of the most skilled...
This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Fighting out of the red...
And this one has all of those big fight feels you... These two fighters promised us an offensive show. Let's see if they deliver. And that jab just missed with the left hand. Catch and shoot. You can tell who's stronger and who's faster. Nice job getting that punch through. This fighter's always on their toes, trying to get their opponent rattled, get them off kilter, get them out of their rhythm.
These are my kind of fighters, boxing on the edge of the ring, using the jab, using footwork, moving left to right. It's like a bull in a matador.
It's like a game of joust. They both got their swords. They're slinging it. Jab misses. These two fighters are made for one another. When you're fighting a counterpuncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counterpuncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
Todd, I understand what you're saying, but you've got to be honest. You've got to be on it. You've got to be a pro. You've got to think right. Concentrate.
You got to like what you're seeing as we reach the halfway point of this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
You don't want to trade shots. When are we going to see a jab from these two? We wanted action, and they are delivering. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. How about that time shot. Nice counter shot. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about Leonard in that last round. Well, it's no secret who has the advantage after that last round. Let's see what they have in. Well, we've just taken a big breath, and here we go again. After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you won that hands down.
That uppercut's blocked. A perfect counter shot. This fighter has been extremely aggressive so far, Johnny, but how do they keep it up over the distance of this fight?
I've seen some aggressive fighters. They can terrorize the life out of you before they've even thrown their shot. The strength they have, the speed they have, and that knockout punch. They want to punch through you. They don't want to punch you. They want to punch straight through you. So you've got to be careful.
That uppercut doesn't land. That counter shot lands. So much for boxing. This is a fight. Punch, counter punch. This fighter's sort of the death by 1,000 paper cuts approach. He'll hit you 1,000 times before you can land one.
So you're getting in there with someone that's so fast, you're prepared to take a lick it because you've got to get some before you get in close.
Some real good back and forth between these two. Sugar Ray is down! Cue up the replay machine. I have got to see that again.
I need to see that again.
The referee says we will fight on. Not sure about this one.
Some fighters, when this happens, this can be heartbreaking. Some fighters, it makes them angry. They want to get back into the mix again. I want to know, what sort of character are we looking at here?
He misses with that jab. Hook was thrown with some bad intention. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Final 10 seconds here, unless we get some late drama. I think we all know who won this round. Sugar Ray in that last round. What a huge momentum swing that's going to be, considering that round will be 10-8 after the knock. The bell rings and we start the third. They really got banged up last round. What can they do here to change the momentum?
Todd, listen to me. If I knock somebody down like that round, you know this round coming out? He's getting everything, full barrel because I know his legs are gone. So this, you watch what's going to happen. If he doesn't, I'll be very, very surprised.
Well, Johnny, we're a couple rounds in. What are you seeing so far?
Don't get trigger happy, because all of a sudden you're going to be gassing yourself down trying to get that shot, and that's when they catch you.
They both want a knockout, you can tell. They won't give us a second to catch our breath. He punch and just got countered. Good counter punching. Big shots from both of these fighters. Got to be careful, though. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Both fighters landing in these exchanges. Judge is going to have a tough job.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. This one go to the judges. The jab not finding its target. And it's a one-hitter winner. What a knockout shot. Let's take another look.
I've got to see that again.
So the fight will continue, but what does the game plan have to look like now?
Well, now it's about getting back to the corner, freshen up, get new instructions given to you, and they've got to G you up. They've got to tell you what you're doing.
As we enter the final 10 seconds here, it's probably a round he'd rather forget. Let's talk about Robinson in that last round. His legs are gone, but somehow he's still in this fight.
Unbelievable heart, knocked down twice.
And he's going to be confident.
Here we go to the fourth round. Last round was a disaster. What can they do here to turn this around?
I have no idea what they have left. How do you come back from something like that? Knocked down twice? Where's your head at? Where's your energy levels at? It tells you you've got nothing left.
You don't see a lot of welterweights that can bring you one-punch KO power, but these two can.
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around her. Work the body, use tactics sometimes just so like to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
We wanted action, and they are giving us action. Left-handed jab doesn't quite score. There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
I've seen some aggressive fighters like this, and they are a nightmare. If you are not fit, that is the worst place to be, having second thoughts in the ring.
Just got rocked. And it appears they're out of trouble, at least for now. But that just goes to show you one clean punch changes everything.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What do they do? What do they tell him when he goes back to the corner? How are they going to get through this?
Good fight so far. Both of these fighters have had their moments.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Good punch. They walk away from each other and then run right back into trouble. It's bombs away. Oh, that punch. lucky that hook didn't score. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. An amazing knockout finish here. That was something special. That punch to the head looked so good live. Let's see it again in slow motion and really appreciate it.
Where did that come from? What a shot.
So it's onward and upward after a knockout win here.
Well, there's no argument right there. You say it. Night-night.
There ain't no room. Only one, number one, there ain't room for two. There ain't no room. I am the one. Top two, but not number two. There ain't no room. Boom. Came in, cleaned up without a broom. There ain't no room. Still here, still not been moved. I got points to prove. There ain't no room. Straight in, more pain, so more gaining. Yeah, I came in, guns blazing. At Raven, you get weighed in. Been training, sick of waiting. Some failing, not plain sailing. Entertaining, check the ratings. Let me out, I don't wanna be caged in. Yeah, I'm ready, who's next up? Pay attention now, yeah, your best luck. I like to warm up like a few jabs, and then I hit hard like a left hook. My style's unique, not textbook. Step to me, you get yourself messed up. Win or lose, still here, still not been moved. I got points to prove. There ain't no room. Only one, number one, there ain't room for two. There ain't no room. I am the one. Top two, but not number two. There ain't no room. Boom. Came in, cleaned up without a broom. There ain't no room. Still here, still not been moved. I got points to prove. There ain't no room. Only one, number one, there ain't room for two. There ain't no room. I am the one. Top two, but not number two. There ain't no room. Boom. Came in, cleaned up without a broom. There ain't no room. Still here, still not been moved. I got points to prove. There ain't no room. Who wants it? Ready for anybody, I got this. They say you can learn from your losses, but victory tastes sweet like chocolates. Top of the game, you can't top this. Permanent sauce, never lost it. You came in the game and you flopped it. I came in the game and I bossed it. That's why me and you are different. I'm ahead, you lot are in the distance. Stay persistent and consistent. I'm the king now, this is my kingdom. Ready for takeoff, watch how I lift them. Take shots, it's rare that I miss them. Boom. Win or lose, still here, still not been moved. I got points to prove. There ain't no room. Only one, number one, there ain't room for two. There ain't no room. I am the one. Top two, but not number two. There ain't no room. Boom. Came in, cleaned up without a broom. There ain't no room. Still here, still not been moved. I got points to prove. There ain't no room.
strongest, the money's vital. Late night in the casino, I watched him win the title. I don't have to think too heavy, I can remember. City centre, cellar cold in the December. The roads that I'm from will turn you to a contender. I'm a Jean-Claude Van Damme, there's no surrender. You didn't know money when the bally meant the strallies up. When I'm saying money, I'm not talking about Pacquiao. It's funny how the tables turn. You're not Ricky Hatton. Tonight I have to let me put my body down. When you was hitting bags, I was still bagging up in mommy's house. You was in the Philly shell when I was getting batted down. Prison cell, swimming in my thoughts, trying not to drown. Shadow boxing in my pad, I hit the gym when I got out. Ooh, the dogs with me, walks with me, barks for me, go to war with me. That's war with my full city. War with me, that's war with the 6-1. Ooh, the dogs with me, walks with me, barks for me, go to war with me. That's war with my full city. War with me, that's war with the 6-1. Become your rivals, you know the hustle paid. You know you took your lemons and turn them to lemonade. I'm from money where the police are getting with. And that's a true story, that's not something you just say. Undisputed, we're the undisputed ones. We want it to be gangster, yeah, we want it to be dons. We end up in the can and I don't mean a Rubicon. I've always been a champion, I've done this on my ones. I've been running up hills, I've been banging out weights. I've been beating up the heavy bag, I'm training every day. Had to fight for these mills, had to lose a couple mates. Sacrifice after sacrifice, that's the only way. Undisputed, they thought I could do this. I said I'd be a legend, they thought I was deluded. The pain's deep rooted, the game's diluted. These rappers aren't gangster, they're all capping in their music.
So much energy here in the house tonight. We are live at the CompuBox Academy. I'm Todd Grisham. Alongside me is Johnny Nelson.
It's going to be...
Sugar Ray Leonard. He, of course, won world titles in 5 different weight classes, including the undisputed welterweight Terrence Bud Crawford, the undisputed lightweight.
This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, from Palmer Park, Maryland, a legend of the sport, the 5-division champion of the world, Sugar Ray Leonard. Fighting out of the blue corner, from Omaha, Nebraska, here is an acclaimed 3-division champion of the world, Terrence.
What a pleasure it is to be here in this environment. What a venue for this showdown.
What a venue, what a fight, what action.
No. And we're off and running between these two really accomplished fighters. Let's see how they come out. Right when you think the pace will slow down, it picks up. They both want the knockout. I know boxing fans around the world feel like Christmas morning with these two finally in the ring.
You have certain fighters that are born for this, that are made for the big crowd. And looking at corner right there, that is that fighter right there. They've elevated, lifted, it's like they're not touching the ground. This is what they were born for.
Caution being thrown to the wind. They exchange punches. Perfect punch. This fighter is all about finesse, using a lot of angles and lateral movement.
These are my kind of fighters, boxing on the edge of the ring, using the jab, using the footwork, moving left to right. It's like a bull in a matador.
Both of these fighters have had their moments.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
These two fighters are made for one another. What a punch. And And he dropped him. The perfect sniper shot. Let's watch it again one more time.
Even I've got to see that again. Where did that come from?
Apparently it's going to take more than that to keep this fighter down.
Well, now it's about getting back to the corner, freshen up, get new instructions given to you, and they've got to G you up. They've got to tell you what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right.
Final 10 seconds here, and the corner is going to have their work cut out for them. Let's talk about Crawford in that last round. Well, if this trainer has a pep talk, now's the time to use it as they were dropped. And there's the bell to start round 2. Is this the beginning of the end after 2 knockdowns last round?
2 knockdowns, and you're coming back from that. That's near on impossible because your head must be all over the place. Your legs will feel like jelly. What can they tell you in the corner? All they can do is wake you up. They can't even go into game plan.
When you're fighting a counterpuncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counterpuncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
They have got great ring IQ. Counter punches are the best.
Missing with that jab. He can't score with that uppercut. There's a counter shot. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Lucky that hook didn't score. Just missed with that hook. What a round so far as we've reached the halfway point.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Well, with welterweights, they sometimes bring you the best of both worlds. Fast hands and power.
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's alright to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
They are not going to let this one go to the judges. That jab doesn't find a home. Hook misses. They're giving us a high-tempo show. Good counter-punching. Took a big shot and down he goes. And you can see here his face basically melts into his glove and down he goes.
You're right, Todd. What a shot.
One, two, three, four, five. You still want to...
Let's talk about Sugar Ray Leonard in that last round. He's been knocked down, but here we go in round 3. Who's going to land the first big shot? Let's see how he bounces back here after getting dropped in the last round.
That knockdown we just saw was a heavy knockdown. I'd be very, very surprised if he'll come out fresh as a daisy. That's not going to happen. He's got to hustle now. He's got to bluff him.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. You hear people talk about a boxer's chin. Do they have a good chin? Do they have a glass jaw? Those are questions that are being answered here tonight.
Don't get trigger happy, because all of a sudden you're going to be gassing yourself out trying to get that shot, and that's when they catch you.
Catch and shoot. Nice job getting that punch through. So much for boxing. This is a fist fight. Which one of these athletes is going to say, I can't take it anymore? Well, Johnny, we're in the early stages here. What have you seen so far?
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
You'd like to see someone use a jab here to establish a boxing presence, but no, they just want to fight. Swing and a miss with that hook. Didn't land that jab. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
Sometimes when you get nervous, someone that's so powerful, you've got to think him. You've just got to be smarter than him. You've got to be like a little favourite and pickpocket him.
Good punch. Nice counter. Crawford is dazed. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Sugar Ray in that last round. Well, he is in big trouble here. He may have been saved by the bell.
Wow, it's like two different leagues.
Let's go out there, get your boxing back together.
Back at it in round 4. So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
This is a high-octane battle. They both want a knockout, you can tell. How much confidence do you build when your opponents hit you with their best shot and you walk right through it?
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing off and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
Both men step back for just a moment. That counter shot lands. Swing and a miss with the left uppercut. There's no doubt that this fighter's power can change the fight around in an instant. You can't afford to make one single minor mistake.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
couldn't write a script like this. This is like Rocky versus Apollo. Beautiful counterpunch. Which one of these athletes is going to be the first to get rocked? Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. No rest for the weary. Punch, counter punch. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Leonard in that last round. Pretty dominant round there. Let's see how they respond here in the next round.
Dominance, without a doubt, made it look so easy.
There's the bell to start round 5. Coming off that fantastic last round, let's see if he can keep his momentum going.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
There's no way this fighter can go punch for punch. Their resistance to these blows just isn't the same.
I've seen some fighters with a granite chin. You can hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a crisp. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the danger spot.
The courage on display here is incredible. And he scores with the counter. He just misses with that jab. Nope, that hook won't score. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. When you've got someone with the hand speed that this fighter possesses, how do you deal with it?
This can be so frustrating when you're under such a fast fighter that can throw 3-4 shot combinations before you've even let one off. That creates frustration, and that's when it gets hard.
How about that time counter shot? Misses with the jab. Punch scores. You'd like to see more jabs. The work rate is down. The head isn't moving as well, Johnny. Fatigue is starting to set in.
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym. You can do it in a fight. They've got to relax.
You don't want to go tit for tat in there in this fight. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Sugar Ray in that last round. What would you tell this guy if he's got to do something different?
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest sound.
Focus back, get that jab.
Let's start the 6. That corner has got to find a way to get some momentum behind their fighter.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you, and that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Which fighter will say no mas? Just when you thought we'd see a lull in the action, here we go again. Energy and endurance are not an issue for this fighter who continues to be aggressive as the rounds wear on.
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight fire with fire. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
Is he going to punch himself out, though? Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. It's always fascinating to watch two good welterweights because they've got blurry hand speed and good power.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those pointed areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim and go for speed.
Nice exchange here from both men. The perfect counter lands. Do you believe what we are seeing? That counter punch caught him clean. Terence Crawford just got rocked. Didn't wait long to get back and get engaged.
Now they've got to wake up. They've got to get on the back foot, clear the head a little bit, then jump back into it again. It's all about the hustle. Get back on it.
The jab doesn't quite connect. A perfect counter shot. Let's talk about Sugar Ray Leonard in that last round. And a round that seemed like eternity for them finally comes to a close.
You know, I've been in fights like that. When you're thinking, come on, guy, ring away.
Here comes round 7. Coming off a very tough round. Let's see what they do here.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
So far, it seems like aggression has been the key. This fighter just not slowing down.
This is about ego. Get your ego in check, Todd, because if you fight a man that is used to doing this, he's confident and comfortable doing this, why are you giving him that chance to dance that dance? Step out of the way, box him, frustrate him, because if you let him get away with it, he'll close you down.
Can't score with that jab. Well done with that counter shot. One punch could change the entire complexion of this fight. Nice counter punch right up the middle. One of the best attributes to have in boxing has nothing to do with boxing. It's how well you can take a punch to the face.
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when I've done in the ring with fights like that, and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
Tough to be a judge in this fight as both fighters have had their big moments.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Just missed with that hook. Throws the jab, it doesn't score. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're dealing with someone with so much speed, you've got to get your timing right.
What you've got to do, Toddy, is anticipation. You've got to wait. You just got to throw caution to the wind and just hope. You're never going to know where the shots are coming from. You just got to put in a guess.
Nice counter shot. Big shots from both of these fighters. Got to be careful, though. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Sugar Ray in that last round. At this point, you got to believe he can't win on the scorecards. Going to need a knockout.
Needs a knockout without a doubt. Needs to go out there and think, right, you know what?
Round 8, and we're off again. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs have gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
They've got to use their jab better in this fight. In the early rounds of a fight, you'll see two boxers feel each other out, test each other's power, and I think this boxer has decided I can walk through anything that lands.
This is when you get in the ring feeling like you're King Kong because you know you've got a chin that is not going to get dented.
We wanted action, and they are giving us action. He threw a punch and just got countered. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Crawford's legs are all over the place. And it appears they weathered the storm. How? I'm not sure.
What recovery skills they are. What a shot it was. Completely gone. I thought there's no way he's going to finish this round. But look at that. Look at the movement. Look at the speed. Back on it. Like it never happened.
Halfway through the round, and man, these two are going at it.
Skill for skill. Tap for tap. It's like a match made in heaven.
Good one. I think it's safe to say one of these fighters certainly has a significant speed advantage. You can tell who it is.
I've never seen a fighter so fast in my life. How do you deal with this? You've got to hope. You've got to hope they run out of steam.
Holding nothing back here in the round. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Leonard in that last round. I promise you, all three judges here are going to give that round to you-know-who.
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is too easy. If they keep...
Good work, that's it.
And we enter the ninth. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Good counter punch. When are we going to see a jab from these two? You don't see a lot of welterweights that can bring you one-punch KO power, but these two can.
The problem with having a chin that everybody knows if they hit you, you're hurt, you're gone. You've got to protect that, but you've also got to get your shots off. And they forget, you can bang too.
Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round. Back and forth they go. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
It's hard. Look back in history. Sugar Ray Leonard against Roberto Duran. The first fight, Sugar Ray Leonard tried to fight, stand there toe-to-toe with him. The second fight, he thought this guy's aggressive. He's nasty. He'll do everything to get the win. I've got to box him. I've got to frustrate him. I've got to humiliate him and show him how good a boxer I am. That's the only way you beat an aggressive fighter. Show your boxing skills. Step out the way. Don't fight fire with fire. Use blame over brawn.
Halfway through the round, and it's pretty much even-Steven.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
He's putting the pedal to the metal, but has to be careful that he doesn't run out of gas. Beautiful counter shot. Sugar Ray is rocked. How are they still standing?
It's been a tough round.
Whoa, Johnny! And Sugar is in trouble. A much better game plan here.
Defense, defense, defense is everything because they got shot once. They know they can get caught.
This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Talk about Sugar Ray Leonard in that last round. The game plan does not seem to be working here. What's he have to do differently?
Every second, every...
Let's go out there.
And there's the bell for round 10. After that last round, something has got to change.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. This fighter has been extremely aggressive so far, Johnny, but how do they keep it up over the distance of this fight?
I've seen some aggressive fighters like this, and they are a nightmare. If you are not fit, that is the worst place to be, having second thoughts in the ring.
Throwing the hook, but it doesn't score. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. When you're a power puncher, you're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how many you land and how hard they are.
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Pretty close fight here in this round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Those counter punches have to hurt. You can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing him down. Both men step back for just a moment. His stamina is off the charts. doesn't quite connect. Wow, that seemed to be the punch he was looking for. Let's watch it again.
That's lights out right there.
You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. A knockout victory and one of the biggest surprises of the year.
Oh, what a shot. What a shot. You see shots like that in the gym. At least for once, this is on TV. Thousands around the world saw that shot. They probably even heard it.